Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Welcome back to another week of Ho. Why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this? Because we love it. Because we love it. That's why. What else would we do with ourselves this year? This is my safety net, hanging out with you again. But also because we have a lot of, we have more herbs. We have more herbs that wanted to share insight with us and that we selfishly, nerdily want to learn about. And hey, welcome back. Our herb of the week is bay. Oh, it's my baby. It's bay. Bay laurel, bay leaves, bay. You know, like the things that when you make broth or soup, you're like, I don't know why, but I just know I'm supposed to put in a bay leaf because grandma told me to. Yeah, you know, the bay. So I actually have a bay leaf right now. And in my hand, it's a big one. It's a big one. And bay leaves are something interesting that you can use as incense or, you know, light. So I have a candle here and I have a bay leaf and I have 3 cards. And I think there might be a nerdy card in the bay folder. So we don't have like a lot of bay things, but enough. And you know, BAE is not like my baby. It's not like ghetto for you're special. You special to me, bay. You special to me, bay. My bay. Anyways, this is a bay leaf. All right, so listen. I want you to listen how it sounds. If you have a bay leaf, take one to the sink with a lighter or a candle. And give yourself some bay fireworks. So listen to what it sounds like whenever I light it on fire. Isn't that cool? And so now I have to hold it here. It doesn't, ooh, there goes it fell off, a little ash. It's fine. I didn't even bring a bowl. It's not like, it gets lit, it sparkles with its thing that it does, and then it pretty much extinguishes pretty quickly. But do it over the sink so you know you don't accidentally light your house on fire and blame me. But it has a great smell to it. It's very purifying to me, and sort of like it increases your frequency a bit. So some people just like walk in and be like, pass the boof, and think that you're smoking something, but it's actually like it's a good smell. All right, so I'm gonna put this burnt leaf on my little Lazy Susan that holds my microphone, and I'm gonna blow the ashes, like I guess everywhere, off the table, on my phone, in my tea, whatever. And let's leave the candle lit. Why not? Why not? My bay. All right, so bay. What do you think of it? Probably nothing, actually. Probably never thought much of it except maybe throwing it's that hard leaf. You know, like even after the soup is done, it's still hard. You're not going to eat it. You're just going to pick it out, hopefully before you put it in somebody's soup bowl and throw it away. But it's not a big deal if somebody gets the bay leaf. That could be like good luck. That might be a funny like family tradition if you're like big on the soup and you're always making soup. Like, hey, I got the bay leaf. Oh, Jimmy got the bay leaf this week. All right, good for you, Jimmy. So we have 3 cards. One's from the Plant Spirit Oracle. It's about death, endings, and closure. I just figured I would ruin that good happy moment real fast. There's Jimmy on this card standing in front of a bay wreath, and he's naked. and there's like light behind him, and he's all like, oh, and then like on the ground you see his dark silhouette, like his dead old form that he has resurrected from. So, but what's always funny about this picture, you don't see the dead form or the old form on the ground until after you like look at him for a while, because he butt naked in front of a bay wreath, and it's really cool. And I'm not just saying that because he's naked in front of a bay laurel wreath. I'm saying like it's cool because like you can tell he's brand new. You can tell he's feeling like pure. And then yeah, when you see the dark shadow figure on the ground and underneath it, it's like, I guess, reddish energy or blood. Or it's not like really gory, but it's dark. He's done with that old self. He's closed it. He's got closure. It's ending. It's dead. It's done. And that's not the end of him, though. He's on his next part. So anyways, we've got that card to look into. We've got a witch's kitchen with abundance. Okay, so yeah, the witch's kitchen's like, well, I don't fucking see death and the bay leaf at all. I see abundance. And there's some salve in a little blue leather pouch that you know is loaded with cash. She's burning some bay leaves. There's a candle. There's 3 pillar candles where she's got like upright bay leaves around the bottom. Very cool. What else do I see? Just pictures of bay and, you know, salamander and black cat, all the stuff that's in a witch's kitchen. And then we have the priestess of protection with our 3rd card from the Enchanted Spell Oracle. Now, bay is the featured herb, even though it is in a medicine wheel with other herbs of like birch, hazel, lily, lavender, and valerian. But bay is the one we will be talking about today. And yeah, protection. So as you do your endings and your closure, may you please be protected. We wish protection upon you. Protection is given us all the time. And it's a lot of times when we can end that old cycle of bullshit that we can finally step into our abundance. Yes, in our bank accounts, but also like just within our life, like an abundance of joy, an abundance of connection, goodwill, pleasure, happiness, love, peace, serenity, you know, that kind of abundance. Like always having what we need to do when we want to do it. Everything is provided for. We never ever feel lack. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? So anyways, that's where we're at today. Let me grab my nerdy folder. I really truly only use bay in soup and like when I feel like burning something, like, which isn't too often because I always have nog chompa. But okay, we got a little nerdy card. We'll have 4 cards here. We'll put this little nerdy one beside the priestess, and it's from the herbs and medicinal plants knowledge cards, and it'll just give us some facts. Some facts. We'll read that in a minute. The only other thing that I have in my nerdy folder for bay. Now, of course, when we do the affirmations, I'll print my affirmations out. I don't know if you do this, but every week I print the affirmations out and then put it on my fridge. It's really the only thing on my fridge. So I'm very apt to read them and enjoy them. And then at the end of the week, I put that piece of paper in my nerdy folder for that herb. So I'm slowly collecting things for bay. Here's what bay can do for you. Not just make your broth and soup taste good, but there's a reason why we put bay in our soup. It's a digestive aid. It stimulates the appetite. You can make or purchase bay leaf oil, and you can use that on rheumatic joints and sprains, and use it even for an insect repellent. So I never see any bay essential oil, so I don't know if you could like just soak bay leaves in oil. You'd have to research how to do that. But here's a little recipe I wrote down on a piece of paper where I didn't credit anywhere where I got this information, so you know it's legit. Here, I wrote this down on a random piece of scrap paper. Here's a cold remedy. You boil bay leaves with cinnamon, sage, and cloves in apple juice. There you go, drink that. Put some apple juice in a little pot, put a bay leaf or two, cinnamon stick, some sage leaves, and a couple cloves. Yeah, that should cure whatever the fuck ails ya. Okay, so that's bay. I'm going to put this over here away from the candle so I don't accidentally light it on fire. I love my little random notes. I don't know where they came from. They're 100 years old. And to be honest, I didn't even know that I had anything in there for bay. But I'm going to rearrange these cards now. I'm going to put bay, the death and abundance on the bottom, and put the priestess up here at the top with protection, so that's over the death card, and the nerdy card up there, which is real sweet because it's just a white card with an illustration drawing of the bay plant, and then also like there's little drawings on the bottom like what the flower head would look like, which is very tiny and not really nothing. It's really like nothing, looks like nothing, but it gives a close-up detailed drawing of that, and maybe the seed. Yeah, all right, so on the back of this card it says bay is Laurus nobilis, and it's an evergreen shrub or tree, and it can grow 50 to 60 feet in height. What? I didn't know that. I really didn't. I thought like you could get it and like grow it in a pot, kind of like a little lemon tree. But yeah, I guess like if it's wherever it comes from, maybe we'll find out what part of the world this actually comes from. In its happy place, it can grow 50 to 60 feet. Dang, if it's a tree, but it also can be an evergreen shrub. All right, anyways, it's got little whitish flowers, and they will develop later into black berries in April and May. Oh, here's our answer. Native to the Middle East. Historically widely cultivated in the Mediterranean and in other warm climates under irrigation. So it kind of seems like something that would probably like to grow where rosemary grows. Kind of, I imagine they're friends. Now, boiled bay leaves are a potent seasoning, and both the leaves and the fruits of the tree are used in medicinal remedies. Laurel tea, so some people just call it laurel. Laurel tea treats headaches, accompanying acid indigestion. The leaves and fruits improve digestion. The crushed leaves clear sinus congestion and can be an antidote for dizziness. I should tell my friend Kathy K about that. Crushed leaves, like make a tea of bay leaves and see if that don't help your dizziness, honey. Bay leaves can be topically applied to the chest to treat colds and to sore areas to treat muscle and joint pains. In classical times, laurel leaves were woven into wreaths and bestowed upon individuals as an honor for special accomplishments, hence the word laureate. Like I knew that word. Like this is not the first time I've ever seen this word, but I'm sure all of my smart listeners know what this card's talking about. All right, so that's cool because the first card that we are going to talk about, you and me, in our herb of the week, bay, does have a wreath on it. A big wreath. A big honkin' wreath that like makes this dude look kind of tiny. He tiny man. And you can see berries in this wreath, and I guess they're okay to eat and make tea with. So we're learning this year. Yeah, a lot of the herbs of the week here in 2021 are ones that I picked because I was like, we could learn more about that. I could learn more about that. How often does bay laurel get the fucking spotlight? Probably as often as seaweed does, So it's like, why don't we give some of these herbs that haven't been super popular or publicized? I mean, they are important too. So I feel like we're going to enjoy this week with bay. I think we would definitely enjoy manifesting more abundance. Pretty sure we did a podcast exactly titled that, Manifest More Abundance. If we didn't, I'm sorry. We should have. And yeah, Bay's going to keep us company. And then this week, Bay will also help us hopefully power up more essence, destiny, and illumination. We'll see. But, I think an important thing about Bay is if it helps us with our endings and our closure and our death. See, it's really important to die every day, to keep on having many deaths in your life. So you kind of see how death benefits you. Think about how many different old selves have died from you. You're not who you were last year. You're not who you were 10 years ago. You actually are not who you were 10 days ago. And technically even 10 minutes ago, you're actually not that person anymore either. You're constantly dying and being reborn. But we have bigger symbolic deaths in our life that we can be yeah, I'm definitely not that person anymore. But truly it's happening moment to moment. But anyways, so it's we got to start to bless endings and learn how to have closure if that's what we need. We'll see what the book says about that. But yeah, this whole Bay Laurel death ending thing, if we want to pursue our destiny and more illumination and whatever essence means, which is just kind of funny because my mom actually just yesterday said, honey, those kind of men steal your essence. Dang, Mom. So I just heard this word yesterday, and Wednesday we're going to power up, if you can stand the format of those episodes, if I can convince myself to come back again. I'm starting to like them. It's just, the whole point with the power up ones, I guess, is listen, total 88% affirmations, 88% reminders, and yeah, super focused. I don't know what's so special about 88 today. Usually I go with 78 because that was the year I was born. But yeah, I just said 88. Interesting. We'll see if that comes up again. All right, so let's just take a break and drink tea and then hang out with Bay Laurel. Yeah, with me. Thanks. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. But before I open up the book, I just want to tell you, I just want to talk about myself for a minute. I want to tell you that I started the second week now for my home study program from pathwaysoflight.org, Listen and Receive. And I just want to read you my week 2. I guess it's an affirmation. Each week has a laminated little card that you could actually put in your pocket or wallet, but I just have it plastered, taped on my chalkboard in front of me. And here's what it says, because I want you to always be a part of what I'm doing. And it says, and you'll actually like this. Week 2, our inner teacher loves everyone equally. I am willing to see past people's mass consciousness beliefs and behavior. I let my inner teacher show me that everyone and everything is of the same light that I am. So I'll be working on, I guess, that type of thought processes this week with the Listen and Receive home study. 30 days, man. It's so great. It's so enjoyable. I could see me at the end of 30 days being all right, let's do it again. It's just good. And I'm loving the journaling and what comes out. And it literally takes I don't know, probably 10 or 15 minutes. That's it. And I do it in bed. So the more things I can do in bed, the better. I'm not trying to condemn or curse or plot my life to live in a bed or be bedridden or anything. I just love being in bed. It's like a little nest for me. I love it. Anytime I climb into bed for any reason, it's joyful. I love my bed. I really made sure that I love my space. I have books, I have cards, I have crystals and rocks and always water, and now I have a meditation CD that I use on my old school CD player. That's my son's. I don't think he wants it back, so it's mine now. And yeah, like I just really try to I have plants in my room. I can burn incense. Like I can do yoga. I have a yoga mat in my room. Like I just like my bedroom so much, and I love reading in bed. After I do my videotaping for my daily videos on my YouTube channel, Sadie Marie Cherko, the afternoon ACIM, I take my clips and go edit in bed. So I just like to work from bed. I like to be in bed. I like my bed. All right. What do you want to go back to bed, Sadie? A little bit. But first, Bay. All right. So Bay Laurel, death endings, Laurus nobilis. There's also Garden Laurel, Garden Bay. And yeah, this card from Dana O'Driscoll's Plant Spirit Oracle is all about endings and death and closure. So yeah, Bay Laurel is also known as Laurel, True Laurel, Sweet Bay, Bay Tree, or Grecian Laurel. One of the many plants associated with the dead. Perhaps none is so well known or enigmatic as the bay. It has been used magically and medicinally since the time of ancient Greece, when laurel wreaths were frequently used as a sign of honor and for funerary sites. Bay laurel is, of course, also a delightful medicinal and cooking spice. So it's a tender perennial. We just learned that from our nerdy card. And unless you're like in the Mediterranean, it's best grown in a pot and then brought inside in temperate regions. So often you will see it potted or growing indoors. Now I fucking want a bay tree. Bay has smooth, waxy green leaves that grow in an alternate pattern and a dark brown stem. So it is crazy. This one says in warmer areas, bay can grow into a large evergreen shrub or a tree up to 25 feet in height. Okay, but my nerdy card literally says 50 to 60 feet in height. So I feel like if you're a super nerd, if you're a big old herb nerd, see what you can find out. Is it 60 feet? Is it 20 feet? I mean, of course, both are correct if the 60 feet. But I want to see how big a bay can get. Okay, now that's a big bay. All right, let's talk about the divination though. Let's talk about endings and death and closure. Yeah, let's talk about this shit that we don't usually want to. Like usually like when something ends, everyone's like, boo hell, I don't want you to leave me. But like what if like this ending symbolizes some mad, crazy abundance in your life? Like, can you feel protected? The priestess of protection up there. She's like, can you feel protected to be like, I'm cool. I'm cool with endings. I'm cool with death. Many deaths, big deaths, little deaths, whatever deaths. I'm good with it. I'm good with letting things go. Do you know how to have closure? So maybe these are just some questions for us this week that Bay is presenting. The Bay Laurel represents endings of all kinds. So that's permanent endings. That's transitions when an old life is no longer lived. Yeah, it's the ending of relationships or a relationship. Maybe it's permanent losses, moving to a new place, or when something else of significance is no longer present. Typically, the kinds of endings represented by Bay Laurel are permanent. They are lasting changes when a transition to something new is necessary. And it may also be necessary to leave something behind. It is not until the old is cleared away that the new can spring forth. So yeah, you cannot, it's like, okay, like if you covered your garden bed with like some leaves and cardboard and mulch out the ass, if you want something to grow there, like you have to clear like at least that old cardboard away, you know, because it doesn't break down as quick as you would think. And, you know, so very technically, herbally, you know, if you want to grow in a space, you have to like clear the old crabgrass out. You know, it's suffocating the potential of what could grow there. So you got to clear out the old rubbish, the old debris. Same thing in your life. Like, what's basically still on you, killing your sprouts? You know, what's on you, not letting in the light, not letting you see the light of day? What are you doing that's old, that's preventing your new growth? So these are some questions that the Bay brings in about endings. Some people cannot let anything end. Ex-husband. And, you know, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, like we apparently might have to have like big crazy closure if we can't have like an agreeable ending, you know? And even like people will be like, yeah, it's over, it's done. But then because they aren't at peace with it, or they don't have closure, or it's like still not allowing new growth because energetically they have not permitted and given permission of the ending. So you know this story, if like you've ever had somebody in your life that wouldn't let you go, or you wouldn't let them go. It's like you could break up with somebody, but then like a year later, like neither one of you has moved on because you haven't energetically honored the death of that relationship. So Bay Laurel has long been associated with like actual death. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm actually gonna have to like off this guy to finally move on. No, you did not hear that at Ho. I'm not telling you to take out your boyfriend, okay, your old boyfriend. There's a way around this, but legitly, like historically, when people did physically leave their bodies, Bay Laurel has been used with the funeral process and working with the dead. This is represented in this card itself. So as we look at this card, the old shell is cast aside and the spirit is rising into a new existence with the help of Bay Laurel as an intermediary. So these bodies of ours are just shells. They're just empty vessels that are nothing. These bodies are nothing without our spirit. Our spirit animates these bodies. When our spirit is done with it, it is just like, do you ever eat a peanut and you just throw the shell on the floor? Like, you just want the nut inside. You don't really care about the shell. Our spirit feels the same way about these bodies. It's in the shell right now. It's doing its little peanut dance, whatever. But when that nut is ready to move on, fuck this shell. It's got like no attachment to this body whatsoever. However, our egos do. Right? We don't see it like that, but our spirit sees things differently. All right, anyways, so it's been like historically used to help people maybe let go of their bodies, I'm thinking, like when the spirit or the ego, or I don't know, like the spirit's maybe having trouble moving on, or just maybe the people around the dead body, the ones who are still in their shells, you know, they're energetically holding that spirit from leaving. You know, maybe we'll burn some bay so people can have closure, can let go, can understand the greater cycle going on here. So closure, what does that word mean to you? I feel like it's like a word that, like, when you don't have closure, it's like it's just like an uncomfortability maybe, or like irritation or something. Let me see what it says in the book. As difficult as endings can be, this card also signals that closure is at hand. Closure helps us put our past pains and experiences to rest so that we may fully live in the present and look to the future. Some people, however, are living in the past and staying with their old pain rather than moving beyond it. This card is a signal that the time of holding on to pain is now past and you need to let it go and live in the here and now. This card may signal closure of other kinds, being at peace with permanent changes, bereavement, and other loss. So yeah, it's like, like people, if they're stuck in their grief and sadness and regrets and what if, could if, what ifs. They're living in the past. They don't have good closure. They can't even enjoy the present moment because they're stuck back there. So Bay is here to maybe help us this week with our own personal closures. Like, what do you need to be at peace with? You got some endings, some deaths, some permanent changes. Let's let our herb of the week, Bay, help us find that peace. Being at peace. Being at peace. All right, so you can buy Bay essential oil or fresh bay leaves. Fresh is what you would want to use if like you wanted to put like a compress on your body for bruises, aches, varicose veins, strains, and rheumatism. So see, you do need to grow a bay tree in your house and use some of the fresh leaves on your body. Bay is also, or get some essential oil and dilute it in like an oil, like an olive oil or sesame oil or something. Bay is also useful for bacterial or fungal skin rashes. Interesting. So we could do like a foot soak or a skin wash with the bay tea. Now the essential oil is potent. Potent is potent. It is potent. That word looks funny to me today. And must be diluted prior to use. So do not put it directly on your skin or you'll fucking regret it. It's really potent. It needs to be put in a base oil to jokingly water it down. Well, it's to oil it down to make it more suitable for your skin. You don't want a chemical burn from an essential oil. So if you're super duper sensitive, try a tea first. Use a tea on your skin, on your bruises, on your veins, on your achy joints, in your bath. Bay tea is used to treat bronchitis, so drink some of your bath water. It's good for heavy coughing as well as upper gastrointestinal tract issues. So there is quite a bit of good allopathic stuffs going on with our bay laurel. Very noble, Laurus nobilis. And I want to see a tree. I want to see a bay tree. I don't know about you, but I want to hug a bay tree. Oh, and then you could take a selfie and be like, hugging my bay, and spell it wrong, like B-A-E. Come on now, that's cute. All right, here's a recipe. A bay bouquet garni. Am I saying that right? My friend Sherry has made me these before. Garni, G-A-R-N-I. It's like basically like a bundle of herbs you throw in your broth, and they like, you just boil, you know, like when you're seasoning the broth, and at the end, you take it out. So many culinary plants are also medicinal in nature. We know this. It's a spice bundle. Is best used in sauces or soups to add rich flavor and is removed before serving. So you cut a piece of cheesecloth big enough for the herbs you are using. And Dana likes to use fresh or dried parsley, 3 fresh or dried rosemary sprigs, a clove of garlic, 2 sprigs of thyme, 1 bay leaf, and a partridge in a pear tree. No, and some black peppercorns. She ties up this bundle of herbs with kitchen twine or cotton string, and she uses it to flavor soup. So it just like floats around in there while the water's boiling. You remove it before serving, but the parsley, the rosemary, the garlic, the thyme, the bay leaf, the black peppercorns, yum. What's up? No watery soups for you. Well, I mean, it can still be watery, but it'll taste good. It'll have lots of flavor. Hey, sometimes I want a thick soup, and sometimes I just want some broth. Okay? It depends. It really depends. All right. I should make soup, obviously, today. Hanging out with Bay. Make a big old pot. Let it last all week. See what needs used up. I know I got some potatoes. Like, nothing wants to last very long. It seems like as soon as you get the produce, it's like, okay, use me today. Use me up. But like, even if like you didn't have any vegetables, let's just worst case scenario it for a minute. If you had like all your dried herbs, they would provide you with a flavorful and nourishing watery broth. Okay, if push come to shove, give yourself credit, witches, for all the harvesting you did, because your herbs could literally save your ass. So always be nourishing your foods with your plants. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be thy food. You know. But I mean, even like right now, I look at my shelves, I'm like, oh geez, I'm not like using that. It's okay. It's still early in the winter. I'm glad that we have it here. But yeah, we can start using up, we can start nourishing ourselves. We should never stop actually nourishing ourselves. I guess that's like a forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have really neglected my body. Like, I know, I get it. Like, I just literally like haven't really wanted to give my shell much of anything. And maybe Bae will help me get my appetite back. Maybe Bae will, I don't know. We'll see what Bae has to do for me today. So far, I wrote down the affirmations. I am at peace with the past. I think that's important because, if you are caught up in old shit, you are not happy. You don't really want to eat. You don't really care about now or the future if you're living in the past. So that's a good affirmation. And I love this. I see new beginnings in endings. Yeah, I thought you'd like that too. Because we sort of need to like get over endings. We need to get over, like everyone, it's like kids who don't want to give up their old toys and then like just like add new toys on top of their old toys. And then, oh my God, like they're not playing with any of their toys because it's just too much. Sometimes it's better to have less toys and get rid of the old toys. And like right now, my daughter's like, I'm witnessing them really not caring about toys anymore. And there was a point where they would never even entertain the idea of giving up a stuffed animal, let alone like getting rid of half of them or maybe eventually all of them. But it's like, we've got to understand that we are always going to be constantly changing, moving into new aspects of who we are becoming, and we're allowed to let things go. We're allowed to move on. We're allowed to have closure. It's okay for things to end. It's all right. And when you start to see new beginnings and endings, you'll start to feel abundant, because it's like, well, I don't know why this is not working out and it's ending. And yeah, I thought it was going to last forever too, but it's not. And I'm actually kind of excited now to think about something new. Oh, I hope whoever needs to hear that hears that. Okay, abundance. It sucks for someone to like try to get you to live in the past. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. I'm trying to look up abundance, but really I need to look up Bae. Like when somebody won't let you move on. Okay, like first of all, I have to remind myself that only happens if I allow it. But when someone's holding you to the past, whether that be a past version of yourself, a past agreement, a past memory, a past association, a past blame, a past occurrence, like that person who will never let you forget that thing that you did. But like at some point you might be ready to move on. So I feel like Bae might help us release from them, release from ourselves, release from our lack, release from our old story. We'll see. So I didn't tell you that. Well, I did tell you that they're burning bay leaves in the witch's kitchen, but I didn't tell you the color of the smoke, which is like got this periwinkle feel to it. And I love periwinkle. That was my favorite crayon in the Crayola crayon box when I was a kid. Like I was an asshole and I literally took the periwinkle crayon and would hide it so no one else could use it because it was mine. Like that was my favorite color. And the fuck if I was gonna let somebody else use it up. that was mine. So anyways, what a jerk I used to be. Thank goodness I'm not like that anymore. Abundance in the witch's kitchen. Don't give up or give in. Being rich is not a sin. Accept all gifts that come your way. Abundance is yours, now here to stay. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. So abundance that's like stable, that's oncoming, that's here to stay. I think that's what scares people about abundance. They have this like temporary label slapped onto it. Like, okay, so I have some money today, but it won't stay with me. Watch it leave. Bye. We got to get out of that mindset. We got to be like okay with money. We got to like money. We got to be comfortable with money. If we tell money, we got to let money know, hey, bae, I love you. And so then money will be comfortable with me. We want money to know that we like it. Like, we love you. You can stay. If we're always cursing money, if we're always hating money, if we're always saying things like filthy rich people, we're telling money not to come to us because we don't like it. So if you want more money and abundance in your life, you better get comfortable with it. You need to know that being rich is not a sin. You need to accept all gifts that come your way. You need to know abundance is yours. You know that it's here to stay because you're giving it a place to stay. So just like we're doing our solar plexus work to give power a place to live, energetically inside of you, you need to give money a place to live. Like maybe get yourself a beautiful tin box or something, or a little big wooden box. Have a money stash too. Not like in a hoarding, like scarcity mindset, but in like, hey baby, hey bae, here's your little money bed. Let me put you in here, okay? I'll bring you more friends. May this $1 turn into millions. Like do a symbolic like money thing. Like give money a place to live in your life. Open up a new account. Open up a new savings account. Like I just have money. I just put it in there. I just love money. Yeah, I love money. I have it here. I spend it because I know it's gonna, you don't have to be crazy, but like don't think that that's all you're ever gonna get. You gotta keep opening the door and letting it in. So let all your gifts in. So abundance knows, because abundance is not only money. So you open the doors to abundance, okay? And don't give up or give in to these old belief systems that really do need to die. That's like, well, money doesn't grow on bay trees. What do you think I'm made of, money? Or like, money don't like me. I never have any money. I'm broke as a joke. Fuck those rich people. That kind of stuff will keep your ass poor. So now that you know, do with it what you will. So this magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. Abundance is yours. It's here to stay. All you got to do is accept all the gifts that come your way. You've not been going without, right? Have you or have you? Well, if you have been going without unnecessarily for too long now, here's the thing. When you desire something, you ask for it, your cries for prosperity have been heard. So the universe hears you. Oh, you need more money. Okay. You need more of this. Okay. So it wants to give it to you. Ask and it is given. Believe in the fact that whether you're asking the universe or the Holy Spirit or God or Jesus or Buddha or Ganesha wants you to be abundant. Okay. Really. He has taught me that in a big way. All you have to do is ask for it. What abundance do you want? Opportunities, guidance, love, money. Remember, abundance can just be whatever you need to do the things that you want to do. free cruises, I don't know, whatever you want. But if they call you on a phished phone number, it's probably actually not a free cruise. Okay, just so you know. So ask and then open the fucking door. All you need to do is accept that an abundance of prosperity is your birthright and work a little magic. So don't give up. That's what Bae wants to tell you today. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't feel dirty for having money. Don't be ashamed of your money if you have it. You worked it. You worked it, girl. You open up a door. You let that money in. Love it. It loves you. It smells good. Love it. Yeah. You don't have to hold on. You don't have to strangle it. It's yours to have, okay? So Bae is saying, let's work a little magic today. My properties will assist you against misfortune. So that's why we're going to finish up with the priestess of protection. So the Bae will assist us and protect us against misfortune. All right, so take a dried leaf and get the pointiest Sharpie that you can. Okay, so take one of these dried bay leaves and write your desires on it and then burn it. So what do you want? Sex, money, and magic. Okay, fine. Write that. Write that on your bay leaf and burn it. My properties will assist you against misfortune, and a dried leaf with your desires written on it will bring your wishes into fruition if burnt. Pop one of my leaves in your purse or wallet, and soon your inner storeroom will be overflowing with riches. This card marks a time of opulence. Count the blessings and serendipitous moments you receive. That's just like a tongue twister word for synchronistic. Serendipity. Why don't I like this word today? Serendipitous. Serendipitous moments. Count your blessing and all the serendipitous, synchronistic moments you receive, for they are signs of a new and lucrative phase. So when like people are just like, hey, here's some money, or here's a gift, or do you want these beautiful lamps, or if I start getting PayPal donations out of nowhere, like I'll take that as a sign that there is a new and lucrative phase coming to me. If money's coming easier and easier, I got so much food in the cupboards, in the fridge, plants growing all around me, my house plants look good. Like I'm going to take all this as signs that I am flourishing. I'm going to keep counting my blessings and really just understand this is a time of opulence. This is a time of having enough. This is a time of luxury. This is a time to enjoy myself. Who cares if the government bought my groceries? Like, thank you. Maybe I'll eat. Okay. Count your blessings. It don't matter how it got to you. Quit judging and justifying your judgments, making them stronger. Get out of it. Get out of the judging and get into the appreciating. Hey, it found me and I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift. Soon you will forget the miserable days of late. So, I mean, and I've told you this before, like a long time ago, you know, when we did not have enough food in this house, like the kids would fight over food. They were always hungry. They were worried when they were going to get food again. And that sucks that we were that poor. And so now that I've got my poor mama food stamps, I'm fucking blessed. Okay. I feel so thankful for them. And enough time has passed that like I'm hoping that they have forgotten the days when there wasn't so much to pick from. You know, because now like we can have goldfish crackers here or whatever, and they'll actually last. Whereas back in the day, they literally would have binged and ate the whole fucking box like right then and there. So it's like we gotta forget now about those miserable days of late. And it makes me feel so good when I see them forget, because it's like, okay, mama, why don't you forget too? You'll never have to do that again. Oh, thank you, universe. Good. All right. Do you want to hear something totally different that we haven't talked about yet? How about shampoo? All right. Hey, last week we talked about shampoo with seaweed. We can also use bay as a shampoo. All right, here's the recipe. Here's the recipe for some bay shampoo. Now, this would be for making silky hair, or if you had dandruff or itchy scalp or lice. So you can get your itchy lice head and turn it into silky, beautiful hair. All right, let's see. You take a cup of spring water, if possible, or just any kind of clean, good water. Put it in a pan and bring it to the boil. Add the dried bay leaves. No, it does not tell you how many. I hate it when they don't tell you, so just add whatever the fuck you think. Add some dried bay leaves and simmer for a couple of minutes. Strain the mixture, remove the bay leaves, and leave it to cool. So once you have, what was it? Just 1 cup of water. So I don't know. I'd probably put like 2 or 3 bay leaves. I don't know, depending how old the bay leaves were and how big they were. You can do whatever you want. Simmer for a couple of minutes, strain it out. When it is cooled, you add 1/3 cup of Castile soap, like Dr. Bronner's or something. A little bit of jojoba oil. Maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon. It does not say, so you have to guess. And then approximately 20 to 26 drops of essential oil of your choice. And then you put that into a storage bottle and you shake it before you use it, and use that on your scalp as a shampoo. And I have definitely made herbal shampoo like this before, like with like a whole bunch of flowers and herbs and whatever, and aloe vera. And yeah, you don't need that much Castile soap. And then I'm pretty sure like a little bit goes a long way. It does not lather like you think it maybe would, but it lathers enough. And then because it is Castile soap, I think I used like a vinegar rinse diluted after my shampooing. I should get back to that. But like lately, because of like our water situation here, like I've only been showering like once a week, and by like that time I'm such a dirt ball. I'm like just using whatever. I want like stripped clean. So I need to get like I think I need to like get more of like a camper mindset going on, and then like midway through the week maybe use like a shampoo like this at the kitchen sink and just do that. All right, so glad I thought about that in the middle of the podcast. Bay leaves revealed. Sacred to Zeus. Bay leaves, also known as bay laurel, were used as wreaths to crown athletes in ancient Greece. Apollo is often depicted wearing a bay leaf laurel on his head, bay laurel on his head, and his lyre and bow are decorated with bay leaves as well. So yeah, bay leaves are pokey and solid, and they make good decorations. They were also worn by Roman emperors, and in certain countries they were used as a symbol of a master's degree. So good job. Bay leaves represent victory, honor, and abundance of success. So if you have a bay leaf, think about making some shampoo, or think about writing your desires and wishes on that bay leaf and torching it and making them manifest. Think about giving up your past stories of lack and be open to a new story of abundance finding you. It's like you finally got your master's degree in like the law of attraction, and now you and your bae are going to be living it up today. All right, I got my Sharpie. It's actually not a Sharpie, it's a heart. a heart, H-A-R-T, sharp tip permanent marker, and it's very fine tipped, and it's a good. So Sharpie gets all the spotlight, but really heart actually makes a good Sharpie too. So I wrote what do I want? Well, I just got another phone call from someone who refuses to let me go. So I wrote release. I would love to release. I'd love to help people release. I would like to be released. I want to release them. I want them to release me. I would like to release. Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote that down. Then I wrote, well, what's that really about? Freedom. Yeah, I really want freedom. Like I've never had it before, you know? And so that's real big for me. And then because why not? I wrote cash in my granny panties. Like, I'm just literally setting myself up to, you know, be a homeless stripper at some point. All right, so let's torch this a little bit and allow our desires. There goes release. My candle's hot. I'm gonna put it down. May we manifest freedom for ourselves and others. Oh, there goes the cash. Oh, it's still torching. Cool. Oh, you can scry into this leaf if you get it going. Really, have a look-see and see what kind of interesting designs and shapes are burning. It burns differently than you'd think. Oh, and it smells fantastic. All right. Oh, it got cash. We're manifesting cash now. I think I can get the rest of it without burning myself. Cash in my granny panties. Yeah, would now be a good time to ask you to become my patron or support me on Anchor Radio through listener support or a PayPal gift. Always welcome. But I can't really depend on you. And so that's why I have to be open to the universe and Bay helping me with the beginning. Whoa, that got a little too flaming. All right, we're done with this. You know, I'm trying to have faith that with my old endings, my old ways of making cash, that, you know, new ways will be shown. I'm just going to drop this Bay into the wax. There we go. Good. Be there. Fantastic. All right. My hands smell like bay smoke. Very good. All right. Yeah, I have to know that as the priestess of protection is here to end our bay hangout, I have to know that I am going to be protected. I didn't know how I was going to survive as a single mom. Now, of course, a lot of the reason why I'm surviving so well is because I'm still in my ex-husband's house. He's still paying all the bills, and all of that. But as I keep moving forward, I find more and more ways to bring in, and eventually I'm really looking forward to the freedom of supporting myself and getting out from under his thumb. No offense, my darling, but it's I'll never have freedom if I'm still in your house. So I know that's what I'm working towards this year, and I'm trying to have a lot of faith in the abundance that I keep opening the door. As I find closure, as I allow my endings to end and encourage other people to do the same, you know, I can be protected. But it's yeah, I didn't know how I was going to have money, and now I have even he's asking me for money for some bills, and I'm just handing it over because it's well, I do want to tell money that it's allowed to flow through me. You know, I've received some random gifts that were really helpful. Yeah, food is finding me, and even to the point where okay, so I'll do a little side job. I'll have gas money. I'll think to myself, well, I don't have any money to shop. Not a big deal. A friend will be like, hey, do you want a bag of clothes? I went through my closet. abundance can find you in so many ways. And then because like I'm pretty much a minimalist in a lot of ways, I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't need to waste money. I don't shop as a hobby or a sport, like some people do. So it's like I start to see the abundance. Like I walk out in the yard in the growing season, I see all these plants that I know make yummy teas or free food, and it's like, wow, it really is an abundant planet. I really do feel protected, and I really do know that I'll always be taken care of. It does not lessen my desire to keep making strides in progress of my own personal freedom and release from the past. But sometimes you have to kind of go with the flow of the pace that's been set for you, in order to avoid the struggle. So it's like, yeah, I could run out there and, right now pick up a side job that really isn't actually going to help me right now because, I'm taking the assistance right now. Like it's like, why don't you just chill out, finish your podcast, eat your government food, feel thankful, count your blessings, and then when the time is perfect, you're going to be guided. You're going to be guided into this new cycle, this new season. Either that or I'm hoping that I actually do die at the end of this year. And I can just live in the freedom of spirit and not have to deal with any of this shit. Like that really is appealing to me. And I'm open to that. But I doubt it. I doubt that's probably what's going to happen. So whatever. All right. Protection. I'll take it. Protection. Yeah. Like just having enough money to, keep my car safe and running and having whatever. We've hung out with this protection lady before when we manifested more protection. And oh my gosh, do you remember what a little shit I was? I didn't even want to do that podcast. I didn't. I remember this now. I did not want to manifest more protection because I didn't want to admit that I needed protected. I get like that. All right, but we're here about bay leaves, but also guardianship and sanctuary and safekeeping. So bay leaves have been long noted for their protective qualities in medicine and folklore. In the Middle Ages, they used to have branches of bay leaves, like they would use them to brush away bad spirits or ill health in households that had fallen on hard times. Like they'd get the bay leaf and be like, sweep, sweep out, get this evil out of my house. So it's a spicy yet astringent scent would be how you describe bay, and it does bring a sense of freshness and cleanliness to the home. It is healing and reviving. So I'd have to literally at this point walk outside and then come back in so I could really smell what I've just torched in the house. But bay essential oil is very clean and spicy and uplifting and a little bit astringent, and it gives such good flavor to our soups. And I think there's Old Bay seasoning. I'm guessing that has bay in it too. I don't know. But it's been around and it's good. Now, the priestess of protection. She stands firm beneath the powerful helm of awe, a talisman for defense against illness and bad luck. Oh my gosh, is that what that's called? You see this thing tattooed all the time on Vikings. The helm of awe. That's what that's called. Very interesting. There we go. I'll get that tattooed on my belly. I've been not that I should spend money on tattoos, because I do, after being married to a tattoo enthusiast, I just don't really have I have some healing to do with tattoos. I do, because my ex-husband would come home, and because his best friend was a tattoo artist, he'd just have a new tattoo every single time he left the house. I swear to God. And one time he came home with a pickle on his arm, and I'm like, are you just fucking kidding me? You're driving me nuts. But anyways, And, I just, not that I even had to pay for any of his, who knows? We didn't really have honesty. Why would we talk about that? So I do have like a little bit of like associations with tattoos, but I also see the benefit of tattoos, and like especially when they're used for like to cover up scars and parts of your bodies that you're not at peace with. Like that's how I've personally used some of my tattoos, to just be like, you know what, I don't really like my leg, but look, I'll put an octopus lady on my leg and now I like my leg, or just whatever, and so I've been having issues with my stomach. Not issues, but like last year I wore my bikini regardless, but when I look down at this like rotten piece of flesh that used to be my belly button, I just always think like, I hate you. Like, I don't hate you, but like I hate looking at you, and I wouldn't mind having just anything covering you. But I'm also at peace with my ugly too. So I don't know if I really need to do this, but like it's just something that I've been thinking about. But anyways, my point is maybe I'll get the helm of awe over my ugly belly button. Why not? I've seen it on men get this tattoo all the time, but I'm certainly allowed to as well. Anybody's allowed to. But I've seen it and I didn't really know what it meant. And now it just is catching my attention long enough to interrupt my flow that I had going on. So the helm of awe is a talisman for defense. Haha, I thought you didn't need defense, Sadie. It defends against bad luck and illness. All right, so anyways, she's standing under it. She is firm. She is surrounded by a potent wheel of herbs known for their protective abilities. So from left arched to right, we have bay leaves, birch, hazel, lily, lavender, and valerian. So really potent protective herbs. The priestess is a powerful healer and one who specializes in breaking hexes and curses, and one who knows how to keep homes and families safe. So anyways, Bae, I mean, she's the kind of bae you want to have around you. She keeps you safe. She keeps you abundant. She keeps you releasing and letting go of the old, having, really healthy closure and seeing new beginnings and endings. And she just wants you to know that you are protected by a higher force. So a lot of times, like, I live my life like, one, I'm not afraid to die, so I don't care. Two, like, I know, like, this year especially, nothing's going to touch me in 2021. Like, because of the work that I've been asked to do and the agreements that I have and my intentions, like, I pretty much feel so protected this year. After that, who knows? But it's really fun when you get in those places where you're fearless, because you're protected by a higher power, and you have a project to complete or work to do that even if you tried to die, your angels would not let you yet. So it's like yesterday I was like a couple days ago I was a little nervous about traveling, because I do have travel anxiety. Like, hey, just because I don't care if I die, like, doesn't mean like that's the way I want to die. But I was like, I think you'll be fine because it's only January, so you're good, girl. I mean, do whatever you want. I mean, you're fucking protected this year. So anyways, this card wants you to know too that you are protected by higher forces, as well as taking physical security measures to keep your house safe. The added reassurance of psychic protection goes a long way in making you and your home feel secure. So if you did want to like pull tarot cards but you just felt like you wanted to purify your space, you didn't have sage, or think about using Bae, because it's protective, and it seems to elevate the energy, clear the energy. But yeah, psychic protection. If you're feeling like maybe like the example I gave, like there's somebody that won't let you go, that might be psychically attacking you or attaching to you. Maybe you need to incorporate some bay into your spells, into your rituals, just a little like honoring cycle. Like this partnership is now over. You know, I protect myself energetically with the spirit of bay, and I wish you peace with this closure. It is over, it is done, so be it. Now here's another spell for you called a witch bottle spell. And this following enchantment is very effective. It's a very effective protective spell designed to ward off negativity and protect your living space. So it's a spell that was adapted by the book called Witta, W-I-T-T-A, by Edane McCoy. Here's what you do. You take a glass jar and you fill it with sand. Okay, the sand is there to absorb negativity. You take 3 strands of your hair to bind any ill intent, and as many bay leaves as will fit in the jar to dissolve and deflect any negative energy directed towards you. So you basically, in the jar, you put some sand, 3 strands of your hair, and bay leaves. And as you fill the jar, say, protected now, above and below, around my space, white light glows. And you visualize your house, yourself and your family surrounded by a giant bubble of light. Know that you have cleansed your home and filled it with protective energy. Secure the lid tightly onto the jar and bury the witch bottle outside your front door. Protected now, above and below, around my space, white light glows. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our illuminating herb of the week, Bay, and I dedicate them all to you, honey. Thank you. I am at peace with the past. I see new beginnings in endings. I count my blessings and abundance overflows. I am protected. White light surrounds me and all that I love. I accept and receive all gifts given to me. I am at peace with the past. I see new beginnings in endings. I count my blessings and abundance overflows. I am protected. White light surrounds me and all that I love. I accept and receive all gifts given to me. And so it is. Yeehaw, little doggy. Thanks for hanging out with me. What will this week bring? Well, I guess it probably depends on what we line up with. Like, are we ready to be at peace? Let's line up with peace. Are we ready for new beginnings? Let's do that. Let's let go and have closure of the past. Are we ready to line up with abundance? All right, fine. Count your fucking blessings. Are you ready to be protected? Well, then good. Know it, because you are. See yourself surrounded with light all the time. Be light. It is actually what you are. So open up, accept and receive all the gifts coming to you. I hope they're all going to be good. Let's just say it is. Let's say it's all good. It's all good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.